You know, Brandon, I'm a historian of college football. I knew about the Tony Rice, Jerome Bettis, Lou Holtz, touchdown Jesus, Nuke Rockne, and it shell-shocked me.
You know, stepping on that field and I'm used to playing at 60,000 here at Grant Field back then, and stepping onto a field with maybe 90,000 plus, and with all the tradition.
The surreal feeling that you get walking into South Bend and Notre Dame. Kind of settle down for a little bit, but the most surreal part is actually going down into the field, seeing all the banners hanging, and you actually walk by the Irish locker room. You can see the Play Like a Champion sign right there. I got goosebumps when you're talking about it right now because when you walk by that and you see that, you're like, wow, this is actually happening.
It was homecoming that day, and why we scheduled Notre Dame on homecoming, I still do not know. They came in 4th in the country, and I do remember that they took a 14-3 lead into halftime, and of course we in the locker room were excited that we're only down 11 to the number 4 team in the country, and came out the third quarter and scored early and went on to win 23-14. So it was a great day for us.
You have the distinction that you're the only quarterback ever to beat Notre Dame without throwing a pass. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I hear that all the time. You know, people come up to me all the time. But you know, if you ask that question to Pepper Rogers, Brandon, he'd probably tell you, he'd say, if you could see the way Lanier threw the ball, you'd understand why we didn't pass. So it's a game that I'll always remember, and I'm flattered that a lot of the Tech alums still remember that game.
When we went up there, we did not go to the stadium before the game, and I spent the whole pre-warm-up and the pre-game ritual staring in awe, and it took me about a quarter and a half to get out of it as the quarterback, as the leader, so you can imagine how that affected our team. I didn't think I played my best game. I think I was a redshirt sophomore. I think I was a little too much in awe of the Notre Dame mystique.
So that game, you guys fell a little bit short up at Notre Dame. 2 years later, you got them in the Gator Bowl in '99. What do you recall about that one?
I recall that I was a little embarrassed about 2 years prior, the way I played and knowing there was an opportunity to get on stage. And I wanted to redeem myself. And I think they came out in their green, Irish green, and ready to, put a whooping on the yellow jackets. So we had a new thing coming. I remember vividly that Coach Friedgen came to me and said, Joe, if you can handle this game plan, we would be able to, put up some numbers on those guys, and that's exactly what we did. And the first game, I thought the 4 horsemen were playing. So I got that was caught up in my game plan, my preparation. I spent more time doing those type of things than just playing football. The second time, I was just able to say those guys got recruited like I did, same type of team, put on their pants the same way. Let's go play football.
When you go out there, you go onto the field, and it's, they got thick grass, and they've got, the fan base is going crazy, and it's one big bowl, and they're all screaming as loud as I think we had yet in my career, and you're just kind of like in awe of the whole thing. You kind of get over that, and you realize you got to play football, and you got to go execute your assignments. We went in there with a game plan and executed it offensively to a T, and then defense played outstanding in that game as well. We had some very important sacks, some important plays on defense at very important times in the game that enabled offense to capitalize in that game. But at the end of the day, when you walk out 33-3 over Notre Dame on a home opener, I think it was actually the worst home opener loss that Notre Dame had ever had at that time. And you just kind of walk out and go, wow, we just took care of business.
I think the players need to go in there and say, hey, we're Georgia Tech. We've got some history and tradition too, right? Not be so worried about how big Notre Dame's history is.
Absolutely. That's something that we take pride in at Georgia Tech, is understanding that we go anywhere and play anybody at any time. And I think that we've shown that in the past, that this team has shown that, and they're going to show that again in South Bend.
Yeah, that's what I would do a little different this time, to understand that we are coming in also. We have national championships, we have prestigious academics, great players. We belong on this football field. So I think the minute they can do that and take that up in South Bend, the quicker we'll settle in and play football.